Yes,
Hello.
I'm fine. I've had a few trials and tribulations this morning. Would you like to introduce yourself? Tell everybody who you are, and then I'll be able to pronounce your name properly.
Yes, good morning, everybody. I'm Jessica Fleischer,
I,
aka the Kickboxing Queen.
I
I'm
know.
two times English kickboxing champion, second degree black belt, and founder of I Am Fighting Fit.
Yes, there you go, people. So I am not going to abuse her this morning. I'm not going to ask her any crazy questions because she'll come and kick my ass, won't she? Definitely. She's not like that. She's not violent. She'll only do it in the ring. That's it. So, yeah, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah. Have I still got you?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. I'm just changing name because I spelt it wrong. It's got too many E's and I's and everything in it. I might even just change it to Jessica, and that's going to be
Just call me Jess. Just Jess. That's fine.
just Jess. Now, for the people in radio land, who obviously, because not everybody knows what everybody is going on in life, and I saw a post, and I knew the post was not related to what the post would be, and I thought, this is interesting. I'm going to read this. And it said something like, what would you do if someone turned up your door with a box of sex toys? Yeah, that's right. Isn't it? Yeah.
That was it was actually a giant bag of sex toys.
Giant bag. Oh, sorry. I prefer a box of sex toys, but a bag is fine as well because you can see through a bag and that's no good, is it? Anyway, So what was the post about?
Well, I'd connected with a guy who sells sex toys, Craig.
Yeah.
And he's a really great guy, and he doesn't just jump in your inbox saying, buy my sex toys, buy my sex toys. He actually takes the time to communicate with people, build relationships, not actual sexual relationships, but communication ones. And I wanted to make a point that we shouldn't try to sell like that, especially in the health and wellness, the fitness industry, the diet industry, where people message people saying, hey, I've got a supplement, you should buy this, you should lose weight, you should do this. And people shouldn't market themselves and try and sell their products like that. So how I used it to get people's attention was, what would you do if a man turned up at your door with a giant bag of sex toys? You probably wouldn't be very happy about it.
No, not at all, no.
So why is it okay for anybody to turn up like that with what they're selling? There's nothing wrong with selling sex toys. You just shouldn't be shoving it in people's faces.
That's the quote of the interview. Don't be shoving in people's face. No, you're right. Unless it's the Amazon guy turning up with a big box or bag because you've ordered them all. But yeah, and it's an interesting subject because it's the same with loads of different things. And I always use the analogy when you go on LinkedIn. People always want to connect with you on LinkedIn. So I connect with them all, and then within 30 seconds, you get an inbox going, "Oh, we're connected with you. Oh, I've got this great thing." I'm like, "Hang on a minute." I use the analogy. It's a bit like, and it works. It would work. It does work on occasion. It's like going into a bar, walking up to someone in the bar, whether a male and female, and going, "There's my hotel keys. See you upstairs in 5 minutes." It's not going to happen, is it? Occasionally, on the odd chance, someone's going to tell you to go and bugger off, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? But people, when they're in business, think they're very passionate about what they're doing and think, well, everybody needs this, everybody wants this, and bosh, they just want to get in your inbox or send you messages, and it turns people off straight away, doesn't it? Really?
Definitely. There's also a lot of marketing coaches out there who push it. They say you want to be adding 10 people a day, you want to be sending 5 messages a day, asking them to jump on a call, getting in their inboxes, and it's just outdated advice, or I don't agree with it.
Yeah, what I tend to do when they send me this, and I've connected deliberately with a lot of people the other day on LinkedIn, and I've had about 30 requests. So I've requested them all, and people have started inboxing me already. I reply back and say, well, that sounds fantastic. Why don't you sponsor the station and I'll promote your business? And they tend to go a bit quiet for some unknown reason.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
They're only interested in selling what they're selling. And that's why networking's powerful. I mean, we're here talking now. I haven't tried to sell you anything. You haven't tried to sell me anything, but we're getting to know each other. There's more chance of a sale being made in the long run by actually getting to know people.
Correct. Or what it also does, I might not be interested in your product or service, or even vice versa, but someone might say something. I might go, well, actually, if you want to look at nutrition and you want to get into a bit of fitness or whatever it is, go speak to Jessica, because she does all that sort of stuff. And I think, that's how it tends to work, doesn't it? It's referrals as well as, might not just be me, it might be someone else wants what you do. So, Tell everybody a bit more about, because I can see behind you, because we are going out on the radio. This is great for radio, but we're actually videoing this, and this will go out as a video on various platforms. So behind you, I see a nice belt there. Or that's 2 belts, is it?
Two belts.
Two belts. Nice. So when did you get into kickboxing?
I got into kickboxing when I was 19. And I was useless. I couldn't even do one press up. I wasn't athletic at school. I was very much that avoided it. I was slightly fat as a teenager, possibly a little bit too critical on myself looking back, but I was very insecure, I doubted myself a lot. But kickboxing was the turning point. It helped me improve my physical health and my mental health too.
Wow, that's amazing, because you're definitely not overweight. You look trim, and I can't believe that's quite old for someone to get into kickboxing. 19. No, I mean, my youngest lad was doing kickboxing from quite an early age, but then stopped because of commitments and other bits and bobs. But he was getting quite good at it, and I think it's helped him now with his physical stuff, because he does a lot of stuff at the gym as well. So yeah, it's good. It's a good. I think it's good because disciplines are quite important with kickboxing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it's the community, the martial art aspect, the being part of the gym, and it's not just aggression or violence, what like people would think perhaps. There's a great amount of respect for your opponent too when you fight. Obviously, the majority of people who kickbox don't fight. I did go on to fight, and I wasn't a natural fighter. I didn't do well to start off with. I had a lot of losses to begin with. But I'm quite dedicated. I'm quite determined. So I carried on going. I wanted to win. I wanted to become a champion. I set my mind to it. I set my heart on it. And I worked hard for it.
I love that. That's a great message. That's a great message to anyone who's... someone said to me yesterday, I don't know where you get your energy from and how you keep on going. I say, when you've been kicked down enough times, you've had the crap I've had, you've just got to get up and keep going. You've got to keep fighting, haven't you? There's no point giving up. I love that. So what we're going to do, because we're going to play a track now, and then we'll come back for another section if you want to stick around, which would be great. We need to talk a bit more about doing in the future. If you could ever think, what, and I'll have a look now in a second, what is the album that you first heard the album that you couldn't stop playing when you first got it?
My first album was Let Go by Avril Lavigne.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I'll have...
Skater Boy was the song that was the one that made it popular.
Which one?
Skater Boy.
Well, I'll have a look for that in a second then. So I'm going to play this track. We'll be right back with Jessica. We're not talking about sex toys. It's just that was a hook to get you all in. Did it get you all in? Yes. Brilliant. And it was great what she did. Great bit of marketing with that. So we had the animals, didn't we? We've got this one. Someone put on Popped In, Sold Out by Wet Wet Wet. So this is it. Popped in your inbox, people. See what I did there? Brilliant. Tracks from albums that people couldn't stop listening to. Hey, go away, Marty. We've finished. We've done that bit. And I'll come right back after this and tell you what that was all about.
Are you ready to get fit as fork? Want to lose weight and get fitter without counting calories, points, sins, or any of that shit? By concentrating on when you eat, you'll be amazed at the results. Get Fit as Fork from £20 per month. Get started via the Fit as Fork Facebook page. Let's forking go.
Hey, let's forking go, people. So, Jessica, I was laughing then because Craig has commented, because you've shared the post onto the networking group, and he's got, Craig Hartley said, the sex toy story is on the radio, and a big laugh on it. well, it's duggystone radio, you see.
Yep, the sex toy story is on the radio.
And if you don't know what that is, people, well, you better re-eat wind, as Craig David said. Re-eat wind. Or go and listen to us on SoundCloud. It'll be on later on. Or watch the previous video to this one if you're watching the video. It's very complicated. I've got a thing ahead here, Jessica. I've got a thing ahead because I've got all sorts.
I don't know how you do it. Well done.
Well, I've been running this morning. It's a bit boring, but you won't be able to see it because you're only seeing my Zoom camera, but I've got 3 cameras in the studio. One in front of me, which is off the computer. That one you're watching there, and then for the benefit for other people, I've got another camera here, which I can talk to on, and that'll be on the video as well. So it's a bit busy. It's a bit busy.
I like it. It's a good setup. I've just got my laptop and a microphone.
Right, and that's what we're going to talk about next, because you're obviously one of the reasons I brought you on. We had a chat on Friday, and you potentially going to do podcasting and a radio show.
Yes, I've started a podcast, so I run.
That's right.
And I'm quite regularly featuring on other people's podcasts because I like to be interviewed. So I've been reaching out to people and getting booked in. And I've got a phone call this afternoon with a local radio station, Bexhill Radio, near where I live, and they're looking for presenters. Brilliant. So they're interested in having me run a kind of health and well-being show, That's think, great. Kind of community-based, getting the public interacting, helping people with a focus on their mental health, because it's important right now. Well, it's always important, but especially right now.
So she's going to be on Bexhill Radio. And we're promoting another radio station on my radio station, which is absolutely bonkers. But we've not got a health and wellbeing show. And if you're into health and wellbeing, then go and see Jessica at Bexhill Radio. That's what it's all about. And what you just said then about having all I've got is my laptop. When I first got into radio and podcasting, all I had was a laptop, and I've still got my original microphone up there, which plugged into my laptop was USB. That's all I had. And I think people they might look at stuff like this setup. This has took me quite a few years to sell, because it takes a lot of money, a lot of time and effort. But it's like, why do I need? You don't need to have 3-4 cameras. I'm working off 3 screens here. I've got 3 screens. I've got a mixer. And you don't need all that to start off with. But as you go on, you add stuff when you need stuff. Do you know what I mean? So quite quickly, I realised that I needed a mixer for some of the stuff that I wanted to do, to bring in phone calls and things like that. And if you want to talk about that off in air, I'll tell you how to do that. Yeah. So if you were doing it from home, you could get a mixer, and for about 80 quid, you've got to get the right one. About 80 quid, and you can connect to it with a few cables, and you'll be able to bring phone calls in as well. So or you'll be able to do this sort of stuff.
That sounds like fun. I'll have to. I'll speak to you off air about that. Yeah. That sounds good. Yeah, but I think you made a very valid point there. People see the end result, they see the champion, the success, whatever it might be, and it intimidates them. They think, I can't do that. But we all start somewhere. Like you started with one laptop, I started with one press up, and people don't see the journey. They just see the end result, which is the product of many years, lots of time, lots of money, and developing a skill. You don't just wake up in the morning and go, well, hey, I'm a successful radio presenter. You have to learn how to do it. You do. And I don't profess to be the world's best. But what I do, I believe I try and create something that I would listen to. And I do listen to my own show, which is sad, I know, but I would listen to my own show. And that's what I try and create. Because, do you know, if I like it, well, someone else might like it. Some people will hate it, but I don't care about that either. That's dead. There's how many billion people in the world is there? 8 billion people in the world? Well, I don't want to be friends with everybody. Not everyone's going to get me, are they? So same as I don't like everybody. There's quite a lot of people I don't like, to be honest with you. I can't stand their face, can't stand the sight of them. But I think you're getting on stuff because you're interesting and intriguing. And I've only come across the last couple of weeks from a networking group, and straight away, I don't know what it is, but I gravitated towards you, and I thought, this person's interesting. I'd like to know a bit more about this person. It's usually kickboxing that draws people in, but as you said, sex toys and sex sells. But that's not actually what I do. Well, we know that. We know that. We better go through that again, haven't we? It's just in case. It does draw people's attention in. And what you were saying about not everybody likes everybody, and some people I'm not going to appeal to everybody. You're not going to appeal to everybody. No. But here we are talking because something made us connect. Something, I don't know. It was probably that post. But what was I going to say? I don't even know now. That it doesn't matter. If you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one. And if you're true to yourself, the right people will like you, basically. Yeah. Exactly. If you try and be false and try and pretend to be something that you're not because you're afraid of upsetting a person, then you're going to end up upsetting a lot more people in the long run, including yourself.
Yeah, it's probably worse. It's probably worse being fake because people we can sniff it out, can't we? We can sniff fakeness and from a mile away, and so people will turn off from you. I try not to swear on air, but when I'm doing if anyone's watched my Facebook lives, I swear all the time. My wife goes mad when I'm in the house. She goes, "Stop swearing," but it's just. Especially when I don't even know how I do it on the station, and I manage to keep it down. But as soon as the station goes off, I'm effing and jeffing everywhere. And I think it's just, I don't know where I started work. I used to be a butcher, and there's all that in there. And I think it's a way of expressing yourself. And I don't care. But you can't do that. You can't swear. Well, who's making these rules up for you? Eh? I don't give a rat's ass if people don't like me swearing. Go somewhere else who does. Go to someone else who doesn't swear. Probably boring as shit. So do you know what I mean? I'm being true to me and what I want to do. And like I say, if people get offended by anything I put online, which I'd never mean to be offensive. Unless someone's offensive to me, but I never go out to be offensive. But if anyone's offended by it, that's down to them, not down to me. So you talk. So if people want to get hold of you, what's the best way to get hold of you? Because I think people will be intrigued by what you've got to do and what you've got to say.
Well, my website's got everything on it. So iamfightingfit.co.uk. And that's got the podcast, that's got my blogs, it's got my Facebook group, my email. However people want to reach out to me, they can connect with me.
Brilliant.
They can jump in my inbox. I'm inviting them to.
Yes, you can jump in for that. If you want to buy my stuff, jump in my inbox all day. Know what's named. What was people don't know what was really funny the other day, because I know a lot of people. And we're going to play a track, and I want you to stay around because we'll do another section. Is you'd sent me a message last week. And I was busy doing something, and I know that many people, and in my head it dropped in. Oh, Jessica, she's the bag of the sex toys. So I sent one back saying, "Yeah, great to connect with you, but don't send me any dick pics." Yeah, and then afterwards you went, "Pardon," and I'm like, "Oh God, is it the right person? Have I just sent that to a young lady?" And she's going to think I'm some sort of freak. Why is he sending me this? And then afterwards, thank God it was the right person. But that's I think straight away that people understand exactly what I mean when I say something. And obviously it doesn't always work. And people go, what's he?
I'm not easily offended though. So it's
no,
like you said about, I grew up in pubs. I've grown up in pubs all my life. Yeah, so although I don't swear that much, there's not a lot I haven't heard.
Excellent. But yeah, that was a bit of a, oh no, I've sent it to the wrong person. She's going to think I'm a weirdo. Right, let's play your track. And if you can stay around, we'll stay around for another section and then we'll let you get on with your day. But I'm sure you're going to be an absolute blast. So when we come back, let's talk about what you're going to be talking about on that show, etc., and what you're trying to achieve and where people can find you for that and etc. You know all that sort of stuff. So he said the album was by Avril Lavigne, and what it's done this morning. I've put this post on two groups. What's the album you listen to? And I can tell we've got some old gits tuned in and on the station because we've got everything from the Beatles and things like that. So we've actually got some modern stuff on, yeah, because this is the age group we've got on.
Can I just say I don't actually like the song very much. This was what 11-year-old me liked.
Well, we're going to play it anyway, just to remind you when you was 11, and it might take you back to some dark places and realise what you were like then.
Maybe I was 10, but yeah, this was when I was a young teenager, angry with the world.
Well, while this is on, I want you to take a good hard look at yourself and have a chat with your younger person and say, hey, what was you on about, girl? Right, let's have this.
Vehicle and keep away from the carriageway and hard shoulder. The Rigloo High Visibility Shelter quickly inflates, creating a wind and waterproof environment for you and your loved ones as you wait assistance.
Fleischer, car ready, guys.
Rigloo, the breakdown cover that really covers you.
Right, so if you just joined us again or you're watching the video, this is part 3. And we've got Jessica, kickboxing extraordinaire. And anyway, tell us a bit about what you're going to be covering on your brand new radio show.
Well, first, I need to confirm that I'm going to do it. I just had a message from my friend who is listening in live, and she's the one that's got me in touch with the radio, and I need to speak to him. But if all goes well, and after we've had our conversation this afternoon, I think he's interested in having me for a health and well-being type radio show. and getting the community involved and offering advice and support around issues within society, within the community, focusing on mental health. But I've got strong beliefs that it isn't just mental health. Health is multifaceted, wholehearted. It is one thing. Your physical health affects your mental health. Your mental health affects your physical health,
Yes.
etc.
Yes, and I think you're absolutely bang on with that, because what tends to happen, a couple of things. If you're not feeling great mentally, you'll eat the wrong things for a start off. You won't want to do anything, so that will affect your health. But it does bring you down, and there's, you know, I know in my own relationship, if one of us is in a low point, it drags the other one down to a low point, and everything sort of spirals, and it's tough. Sometimes you can get to a very, very low point where you wonder how you're going to get back up from it, you know, whether that's individually or as a relationship. And, you know, it's so, and same again, people in relationships, and me had a conversation today, probably people go, oh, look at us, they probably look at us and go, oh, look at them, what a perfect relationship they've got, and, you know, I mean, a lot of life and rose in the garden. Hey, it's tough. If you want to work at anything, whether it's a relationship, a job, a business, it is bloody tough. And you've got, sometimes it's going to be absolutely crap, and you're going to go, why the hell am I doing this in this with this person? What's going on here? Do you know what I mean? And a bit like we told before, people, what affects a lot of people is they're seeing the end result. They're seeing the Instagram images. I do public speaking in school. I say, none of you get up in the morning and take a picture of beans on toast and go, oh, look at this meal I'm having. Or the girls especially don't get up in the morning and go, click, so as soon as they get out of bed when they look like, I don't know, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Not done your makeup or
I do.
Well, yes.
I make a point to.
Most people don't. Most people don't. So
but I think it's so important to try and get the message out there that I'm just a normal person too. I'm not edited and filtered and
nice. And
I think it's important. And what you were saying about the relationship, if one person brings the other person down, if one person can bring another person up by fighting the stereotype, so to speak, so that there's a pressure, especially in business, to look professional, to always be seen as the one who's succeeding in anything that you're working towards. You don't want to show your weakness. Society perceives vulnerability as weakness, authenticity as weakness. You want to be better than you are, but it doesn't have to be that way. So that's one of the things that I speak out about a lot, is that by being honest about who I am and what I do and how I help people, it helps everybody realize that it's okay to let down that filter, that guard, that exterior of pretending to be someone you're not, wanting to be someone you're not.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's very true. It's very true. I put a post on a networking group the other week that 2 weeks ago I was about to press the button and stop doing everything because I was like, oh, I've had enough. And since then, there's loads of stuff happened. I should be getting E17 on the show, and someone will go, oh, you've sold us that before, but not everybody's seen this or everybody's heard it, so I'm going to say it again. Terry Colwell, I'm going to place track in a minute, you know, and so it's amazing the things have happened when someone's supported me and my mindset's shifted again, and I'm like, no, right, bosh, let's get back on the train, let's get rocking. And you just got to keep at it, haven't you? Got to keep at it. And going on about they've got to confirm, if they don't confirm, then you'll end up doing it anyway. What you want to do, you can do that yourself, either as a podcast or on another radio show. See, I'd take your show tomorrow. However, I'd have to speak to the team, because we've tried having talk shows on before on podcasts, and they don't necessarily
I
work.
Definitely play music too.
Right,
I don't want to just be talking for an hour.
We might have to have a little chat about that, because
I love music, and I'm getting more, and with a lot of the things I'm going through at the moment. I've been suffering with my own health. I'm happy to be open about it. I was overworking myself. I was driving myself into my business to grow my brand, to grow what I'm doing. I was studying nutrition. I was studying hypnotherapy whilst doing the kickboxing, and I made myself ill. I'm on the verge of burnout, like overwhelmed. I've had to take everything out and really focus on where I'm going, and also add in more fun, more play, more things that we can enjoy in life.
Cool.
And that includes music, because music it evokes emotion. It makes us feel good if we play the wrong song, the right song. If we play the wrong song, like you said, going back to being 11, and it's like it can actually be quite depressing if you're not careful.
Yeah.
But I can see it as a reflection in, I'm glad I'm in a better place now.
Yeah, I was there, and now I'm here. So yeah, you can see, and that's a very positive outlook, because some people listen to it and go, "Oh, this track depresses me," but actually, yeah, you're right. You've turned that negative into a positive, which is great. So have your conversation later, and then have a conversation with us just in case. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, whatever. You'll be on the radio, girl. I'm sure you will.
I'm going to have all the offers now, aren't I?
There you go. You've got offers coming in everywhere. It's like, it's unbelievable. Yeah. Well, that's what it's about, isn't it? I think you're a very interesting individual. You've got a great voice, and you've got a great story, and what you're trying to do, I think, is important. It's very important. We've got a chef slot on, and we talked about that because we might have you on the chef slot anyway, because you started off you had a van, did you have a van or catering?
I didn't have a van. I hired a professional kitchen space, and I created all the recipes, and I took the meals to the gym, and I sold them in the gym to the fighters, and like local gyms, and in the pub too. Yeah. So I sold various meals in various places.
There you go. I've done you a disservice. You've had a van. You had a chippy van when I started, and now you've turned it into a proper catering supply business. Oh, there you go. But yeah, so anyway, we're going to see Jessica again on the chef slot. Last week we had the Spice Gown, which was awesome, and if you've not seen that, go and check it out. Let's play. Well, we've done 3 slots now, haven't we? We're getting on with it, right? Yes. So what have you got planned for the rest of the day? Because I think we're going to let you get on with your day after this.
What have I got planned for the rest of the day? I've got nothing overly exciting today. I've got a meeting about Trello. So that's really good.
Yeah. Okay. That's a business tool for organising your stuff.
Organise myself and my social media and everything. So I've got something to help me get more of a structure.
Yeah.
I got to do reading, because I'm reading The Power of Habit as part of my membership site that I run.
Right.
So we read a book a month. So we do the kickboxing. I do live kickboxing classes. Alongside that, because it's a community, it's not just fitness classes.
Yeah.
They do improve their physical health, but we also read a focus book a month, and we have a nutrition and a mindset masterclass a month.
I like it.
So the final Sunday of the month, we meet up and we discuss the book. And I've not finished the book yet, so I need to finish that.
Oh, you better go on with that.
And other than that, I'm going to look after myself. I'm going to go for a walk because the sun is actually out, and I think I'll play some music. I might carry on listening to you, in fact, Kurt.
Excellent. Well, I finish at 10, but I'm back at 11 on Facebook Live talking to a transgender lady who's 3 years into a journey. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah. That was a really interesting one, because Katie Neves, her name is, because I like to talk to interesting people, understand things, and it's a very strange area to look at. And I was really nervous at the interview because I wasn't sure if I might put my big daft foot in it, and I wasn't sure how Katie would turn up because she actually came physically to the studio. So when I opened the door, she was dressed as Katie, and one of the first times out and doing stuff. So that was really. So we're going to catch up today, because lots of things have moved on over the last 3 years, and that's going to be an interesting subject to cover. So there you go. So
I'll listen to that. Is that on Facebook Live?
I'll be on Facebook Live at 11 a.m. this morning. If you're listening on Mixcloud or SoundCloud, or you
how long is it? The meeting's at 12, so
it'd be best part of it'd be 30 minutes to an hour, I should imagine, because we can both talk. Now, can I suggest, before you go, can I suggest a book if you've not watched it, listened to it, read it, or whatever, however you consume a book? It's the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People.
Yes, I've got that on my Audible.
Have you read it?
I need to finish listening to it.
I am telling you now, for what you're doing, I use that book because I don't read books. I'm dyslexic, so I hate books. But I had the audio version of that, and I'll read 1 book a year probably, depending. If I get into it, I'll really read it. I think the last book was a couple of years ago, but read it or listen to it, because if I ever go in, my other business was improving businesses, a business consultant, and I always get key people in the business to listen to that. And then once they listen to it, they understand where I'm coming from. And when I start talking about it and implement some of the things we talk about, I think it'd be very good for what you're trying to do. And I think it'd be good for the focus group and for people. A lot about paradigms and how you see the world is, I think, is key. So definitely check that out. It's a wonderful.
I will make that the April book then.
And let
We've
me-
got our March book set, our February and our March, and then we can go for April.
Let-
Because a book a month is about my limit, so I can focus properly on each book.
Yeah.
So,
Let me
Yeah.
let me know how that goes. And anyone that's going to listen to the audio, I would suggest listen to.
maybe you can come do a guest appearance as part of the book club
Well,
or
there you
something.
go,
We can
man.
arrange.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. I might be a bit nervous, but I'll do that. Yeah.
We can get it on the radio. Book club on the radio.
We could do. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Book club, people. Book club. Right. I'm going to let you get on with your day. I'm going to carry on with the radio show. Good luck for this afternoon and in the future. Let's keep in touch. It's been great. Thanks for giving us your time this morning. And what I need to do is can you say your name and then you're listening to Dougie Stone Radio, and I'm going to take the audio off it. I'm going to make it into a jingle. How's that? How's that for putting you on the spot?
What? So say my name.
Say your
and
name.
Then...
Yeah, you say your name and say whatever you do, yeah, and you're listening to Dougie Stone Radio. It's a bit of a plug for you and a plug for us.
Okay. Now.
Yeah.
So I'm Jessica Fleischer, the kickboxing queen, founder of I Am Fighting Fit, and you're listening to Dougie Stone Radio.
That is awesome. Thanks very much. I will